Watch me decorate my birthday cake as an amateur cake decorator. I'm starting out with this piping tip because I wanted to kind of do a ruffle effect and I don't have the correct tip, so I was just winging it and seeing how it came out. I wasn't sure about it, but I went with it and I went to do these, I think they're called shells, and I very quickly realized I was actually using the wrong tip. And I just didn't like how it was coming out completely. So I just decided to scrap what I had so far and start over. And to do that, I put it in the fridge to chill so that the frosting gets hard, and then you just scrape it off. And now your base cake is all messed up. So you take this little scraper thing and you spend a long time smoothing it out to get it nice and perfect again. I switched out my piping tip to the correct one. And if you want to know how each piping tip works, go ahead and practice on a sheet of tinfoil. So that way you're not practicing on your cake like me. Okay, the first few shells are always rough because I'm finding my groove. And then once you get the hang of it, you just get into a rhythm. Now that I want to work on the top, I realize I never scraped off the little excess frosting with the butter knife, so I did that. And now I still want to try a ruffle situation. So I'm using this petal tip. It's not even a correct ruffle tip, but I'm improvising. You'll see that when I make a mistake, I just simply scrape it off and keep going. That's something that deterred me from cake decorating for a long time, is thinking that mistakes were final. But that's not true. You just scrape it off and keep going. The whole cake isn't ruined because of a simple mistake. This is what we have so far. It's not perfect, but I'm trusting the process. So now I go to put the big shells on top as well. And like I said, the first few shells are always rough until you find a groove. I've done maybe 4 of these Victorian style cakes before, and I always use the same like pattern. So I wanted to try something new with those ruffles on the bottom of these shells. And I do really like how it turned out. I did order actual ruffle tips from Amazon, and you can see I'm getting better at closing the circle. Now, of course, I'm adding smaller shells to the top and the bottom. And you know what, off topic, but I'm okay with the fact that the cake's a little bit yellow, but I do want to know how I can make buttercream white, like stark white. So if anybody knows how to do that, please let me know. Now I'm doing the worst part in my opinion. I hate this part because I always mess up. It's these little drapes, and I am getting better, but it's just so hard. This is also a new little decoration I'm trying out, adding these shells where the drapes meet, and I loved it. Definitely doing that again. Now, of course, I'm adding some sugar pearls. This has to be one of my favorite parts, even though it's a little bit tedious, and I do need tweezers, I know. Now to transfer the cake onto a pretty display. Scary. I hate transferring the cake because I'm always scared I'm gonna drop it. But I wanted it on a pretty display because I actually had a little photo shoot with the cake and myself, and I've included the pictures at the end of this video. Now for some candles that I also got at Walmart. I am turning 25, yay. These are the pictures, a little ivory and gold moment. I think it came out so cute, and I know the candles are reflecting backwards, but that's okay, I love them anyways.